Hello class, this is going to be a short demo on the first major assignment due next Sunday, and it's called the Contour Self-Portrait. And because this is kind of a rush timeline, I'm going to not have an exercise to do on Thursday. So the Albrecht Dürer exercise that I posted earlier today, and then this self-portrait thing will be it for this week. So I hopefully that gives everybody enough time to work on stuff. And I will post another article or video to watch and to comment on, because that doesn't take as much time, and I like to keep that dialogue going about what contemporary art looks like, or some of the ideas we can think about. Okay, so once you've done the Albrecht Dürer sketch and you've chosen the image and reproduced the proportions in your sketchbook, following the measurements that I listed, you could start on the self-portrait project. And you could also do them simultaneously, because you might just get bored of working on the one and want to switch to the other, and that would be totally acceptable. The first step, and I also want to mention that originally I had said that the major assignment should take 10 hours. I think we could do it in 5, because I think the grid system kind of simplifies a lot of the steps and makes things go smoother. So don't worry too much about the actual amount of time spent on it. As long as if you start out early, like Tuesday or Wednesday, then hopefully that's enough time for everybody to get it done by Sunday. Okay, so you start off by taking a bunch of selfies. This is what I would call the passport photo, and it's, sorry, whoops, that got really big really fast. Okay, so this is, for me, kind of the most neutral, if not the most boring shot of a face. And it's not that it can't be artistic, but it is kind of the least dynamic, you could say. It's also one of the most challenging to create any sense of volume, because the face is so flattened out, and you don't really see a lot of, you can't really get that much sense of the volume of the nose, or, there's a lot of, things are very balanced and neutral. So it's not my favorite shot, but it's one you could consider. The 3/4 shot, 3/4 angle, is my, whoops, I'm trying to zoom this in. Okay, this is my preferred, personally preferred angle for drawing any face, because it feels very natural. Like you could tilt the camera a few degrees left or right, and they'd all be very interesting and dynamic. And because the one eye is smaller than the one that's closer, and then you're seeing the side of the nose, and this side actually kind of curves away from you, so it's almost invisible. And then the cheek is also curves away from you, so it appears more narrow than this side. It's just a more dynamic shot, and I think that you could get a greater sense of volume with a shot like this. Also note that the camera height is the same height as the eyes and the subject, so that's another reason why it feels natural. most adults are within a couple heads height of each other. And so this just, yeah, is very approachable, okay? In the assignment description, it was suggested to try something dynamic like this. Because there's so many new things going on, you don't have to if you don't want to. It's not like I'm going to penalize anybody for going with a shot like that. Okay. An angle like this is normally quite challenging to draw, especially from, definitely challenging from imagination, but even from observation, because the eye here is so distorted. It's a completely different shape from this one. The nose almost projects out past the cheekbone. The mouth is quite distorted and most of it is hidden. So this is a challenging shot to draw. The idea with the grid system is that if you were to grid this out and just copy shapes from one to the next, even trying it to do it upside down, that should actually alleviate some of the challenges about working with an unusual angle. So just consider it. And then this shot is the one that I like the best. I didn't take any profile photos. I don't know, I'm kind of indifferent to how I look like in profile. Sometimes they're interesting shots, but I just didn't do one. And I found this one to be the one that I like the best, personally. It happens to have really interesting lighting going on because there's a highlight here and then there's light hitting from here, which creates a shadow area right down the middle of the nose. That's not particularly important right now because the drawing that we're going to make is only based in line work, not in tone and shading. But I still really like the lighting in here. It helps to describe this whole object as having 3 dimensions. Okay, so what I did to grid it is, because I have Photoshop, I drew this grid on top of it and printed it out. And I was trying to think through ways students could try this without access to a printer or Photoshop. You can get Photoshop Express on a phone or a tablet, but I'm not super familiar with the drawing tools in it. And I believe there might be some sketching tools where you use your finger, but they're a little bit rudimentary. Alternatively, I thought, if you had a screen here and your photo was here, then you could place a piece of tracing paper and draw a line, tape a piece of tracing paper on top. Fortunately, I have one. So if you taped it down, then you'd be able to grid on top of here. So that's one way. If you are ever applying tape to a surface that you don't want to get too stuck on, then one trick that I have is you take the masking tape, and this is painter's tape. The green stuff has less tack than beige stuff. So the green stuff and the blue stuff are both good for temporary surfaces. But then if you want to make it even more temporary, then you can stick masking tape to your clothes and it picks up the lint, and when you apply it, it'll hold it down, but it comes off quite easily. Okay, so that's possibly one of the best ways you could, sorry, I'm just freehanding that. But yeah. So you could put a ruler up and grid it, and then that would be a workaround from not having a photo editing software or a printer. So hopefully that works out for you, because like I said, I'm trying to figure out how to make this assignment work. If you're really stuck, you can email me your selfie and I will grid it and send it back to you as soon as I can. So I just want to try to figure out a way to make this assignment work for you guys. And then when you have taken your gridded drawing or gridded photo and copied it into your sketchbook with very light pencil, so don't darken anything, just get the proportions onto your sketchbook, following your grid, then we'll start the next demo. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video.